Welcome to the Cam TV episode 4. Hope you like the new set. We've had a bit of a break, made some changes to bring you a better experience. We've got lots more info on artists from the Cairns area and a couple more segments that I think you'll like. But to kick things off, here's a brilliant clip directed by Kyle Wilson of Unearthed Productions and made with a Radif grant. This is Shirl with My Kind of Paradise.
Along the ocean's edge as each wave washes in like a blanket spread upon the shore. A heart somewhere it hungers, longing still for more, searching for horizons to explore. Seeking paradise, encapsulated magic 360 degrees, ungratified senses in disdain. For the soul it makes connection that less is sometimes more. Beneath the sky dome richness pours like rain.
Great clip, really encapsulated everything we're about here in the Cairns area. Congratulations to everybody involved. Now let's have a quick look at some other clips that are out there by local Cairns area musicians. Koahlition continue to please crowds with their brand of funky reggae. This clip is an instrumental featuring the awesome guitar skills of Moses Warrison.
I may have found a place to settles on.
Jaden Reed is due to release an EP this December, and this track will be featured. It's called Places.
Don't worry, you and me could be all we ever need. But I keep on finding myself in the strangest of places. I keep on finding myself in the strangest of places.
I'm laying here on my bed.
Gigi, or George Davies, and Lucky Phil have started a blues evening on Thursdays at the Down Under Bar in Shield Street. Great venue. Here's a track from George's Man of Straw album, Shadows of Memories.
Remembering the friends that I lost, and the blood, sweat, and dust, the family life I destroyed. Shadows of memories washing over me. Shadows of memories washing over me.
Hi, I'm Alita from Cairns Folk and Roots Original Music Events with your local scene wrap-up. First up, let's take a look at what's been happening with Port Douglas musicians. Singer-songwriter Frank Fricker has just released his latest CD, Road Closed. 2 years in the making and featuring 10 of the finest musicians, it is filled with real-life stories that have inspired Frank. Another fine local release to check out. Marilyn Davidson was born in New Zealand into a crazy Polynesian European family made up of artists and musicians. She has spent 40 years in the music industry. A long-time resident of far north Queensland, she currently performs on a regular basis with Frank Fricker in duo A Good Drop. Marilyn has finally released her first CD of beautiful and eclectic songs titled A Stone's Throw, recorded at Cairns famed Pegasus Studios. Singer-songwriter Unearthed Master has been living, performing and recording in far north Queensland for over 10 years. He has released 2 albums, Everything Is Okay and Forgotten About Today. His latest single, I Won't Burn, has just been released onto iTunes and is accompanied by a new animated video clip. I Won't Burn is inspired by an event that happened when Omid and his wife were overseas a number of years ago. The next-door neighbour's timber Queenslander house caught fire and burnt to the ground. Miraculously, his own timber house was left totally unscathed.
I'll hold strong for you. I'll hold strong. They all say it is my turn.
Unearthed Master is currently writing and recording material for a 3rd CD. You can catch him performing on a regular basis around town and also at the upcoming Tablelands Folk Festival. Recently celebrating 100 issues, Connect magazine released a special CD featuring local songwriters. Connect in Harmony is a wonderful introduction to the more spiritual aspect of songwriting in the far north. This generous 16-track compilation offers the listener a chance to connect with the meditative and contemplative, evoking a sense of peace and tranquility. Established artists like David Hudson, Jeremiah Johnson and Leah Scanlon sit well alongside those up-and-coming such as Lani Brower-Hughes and Beck Drollinger. A mix of folk, roots, Indigenous and world sounds, Connect in Harmony is sure to soothe the soul and is available from the website for just $10, with much of the proceeds going to charity. Last October, young TAFE music student Ray Daines took out first prize at the Songwriters competition at Tablelands Folk Festival with a song called The Fog. Since then, he has been living and working in Melbourne, has been headhunted by producers of Neighbours to write songs for the TV show, and recorded his first EP of original material titled The Fog. Ray returns to the far north this October, invited back this time to perform on the main stage at Tablelands Folk Festival and open the Songwriters competition. Here's a look at his current video, Falling.
All the pieces falling, falling to the ground. And all the voices calling, oh, cannot make a
That's the latest folk and roots scene wrap-up from the Beach Hut. I'm Alita. Join me next time.
Hi, this is May Believe. You're watching Cam TV.
Welcome back to the Cam TV. It's Red Couch time. And with me today, Amy Chase.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a very comfy couch.
It is a very comfy couch, and I'm glad you could join me on it.
Yeah, I'm into it.
So you've been gracing our shores up here in Cairns for a little while now, eh?
I have. I've been up here for about 3.5 years, sort of on and off, going between here and Sydney. You know, enjoying the relaxing environment up here.
I wanted to know how you got into music in the first place. Did you come from a musical family?
No, not a single member of my family is musical, which is quite amusing. I know.
How does that happen?
I don't know. I really don't know. I remember sitting in the car and singing along with my sister. Mum turns around to my sister and is like, "Wow, you really can't sing," but it's only because I could sing so well. It was like, oh, okay, I'm kind of good at it. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me a bit about what you've done, because I've read a bit on your website about how you've supported a lot of people over the years.
Yeah, well, I finished school, so I did music at school and then went to the Australian Institute of Music.
Yeah.
And did a year there, which was really great for networking and everything. And I finished that and was doing, you know, some duo gigs around Sydney, and then got into hospitality as well to support that. Just the usual, you know, musicians thing, hospitality.
Every musician is a waitress as well.
Yeah, well, that's it, and we sing, so, you know.
Yeah.
And then kind of fell into full-time hospitality, and then just sort of fell back into music again, which is really nice. Yeah.
Amy, you've just released a CD.
Yeah.
And they're all original songs.
Yep, all original, all written by myself and Mick Porter.
Okay.
And all here in Cairns as well.
So this is something new for you, though, isn't it? This is your first crack at songwriting.
Yeah, it is.
How did you find the process?
I liked it. I don't play an instrument, so I suppose you could say that that's my musical disability almost, or my handicap, or. But I, you know, will sometimes just write lyrics or come up with a melody and write lyrics around it, or Mick would be playing something which would inspire me to write, but yeah, there's no set way in which I do it, which I kind of like. So in the end, it's all a song at the end, so that's all that matters.
Okay, so the CD is called The Artist Formerly Known as Amy Chase, which is a pretty cool title.
Yeah, something different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would be your favourite song on there?
I don't like to pick favourites. Today, at this moment, would be Scars of Life. It's a song that was, I'm always said, fake it till you make it. So if you're not positive about something, if you just be positive, you know, say positive things, it's like a positive affirmation, and eventually it will turn into a positive situation. Scars of Life is a song about that. I wrote it when I was in a really dark, negative place, and it's a really happy kind of positive song, so go figure.
Okay.
It works.
We might have a listen to Scars of Life from Amy's new album, The Artist Formerly Known as Amy Chase.
I believe in the love that you bring, the song that you sing to me, the joy of your heart, words that you speak to me. I believe in the love that you bring, the song that you sing to me, the joy of your heart, words that you speak to me.
Thank you very much.
Welcome back to the Cam TV. We're chatting with Amy Chase from the Amy Chase Band. Funnily enough.
Funny that. It took me a while to think of that name, actually.
Yeah.
I put Vert and band at the end. Yeah.
Very good. So, Amy, you released the EP
Yep.
at the Tanks very recently
Yeah.
and went well.
Yeah, it was. The Tanks has always been a venue that I've gone to and seen some amazing artists play, and it was just such an honour to actually go down and play on the stage where you see all the greats play. So yeah, it was a bit surreal. Sort of took a few days for me to find my feet again.
Who'd you have in the band?
So I played with Mick Porter on guitar and Chris McKelvey, who also plays with Eddie Skiba, Enzo Russo on bass, Ben Hacklitz, and then I had 2 backing vocalists, so I had Chris Argy and Vivian Lyons, so they're both amazing singers in their own right. So yeah, I was very, very lucky.
That's a pretty good band.
Yeah, 7-piece band,
Very nice.
Why not?
Very nice.
Yeah.
So you're going to take this and head down to Sydney and become rich and famous?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm going to head to Sydney and I'm going to have a go at the big city and sort of see how I go and see, I'd like to go down and see other musicians, like great singers, and kind of stand there and watch them and walk away and be like, oh, I've just got to do so much better, I like to go and see amazing singers to push myself a little bit more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, all the best for the future.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming in and
Thank you
talking
for
to us on the
having me.
couch.
Thanks.
One of the most interesting things that I get asked from a lot of the young players is, what do I need for different jobs or the different style of jobs? Most people are probably thinking, is it a particular guitar or an amp? But what I've found, the most important thing to take to a job is what's going to suit that job. For instance, if I'm doing a rockabilly gig, I've found that that's my most important accessory. Nice old rockabilly shoes, makes you feel like you're a rockabilly star, makes you play like a rockabilly player. And if it's a country gig, again, the most important accessory is those cowboy boots. Cuban heels, chisel toe if possible, that's what you need. And you'll come out sounding like the best country player there is. The big band stuff that I do, that's the perfect accessory. Makes me feel like a big band player, make you feel like a big band player as well. This is probably one of my most important accessories to get that guitar sound. Hidden picks in there as well, spare guitar strings tucked in. And of course, blues, you got to feel comfortable. And no, I haven't got blue suede shoes, just a pair of comfortable old sneakers. And that's a great accessory for blues. My secrets.
Well, Eddie Skiba has been making quite a name for himself since he arrived in far north Queensland with his successful Bullet de Bloom CD. Now it's time to look out for Eddie Skiba and the Durand line. Unfortunately, I can't fit the whole band in the studio, but I do have Eddie Skiba and hot guitarist Chris McKelvey here with me now. So welcome Eddie, welcome Chris.
Thanks for having us, Irene. Great to be here.
Eddie, it's been quite a while since you were here in the studio with me.
Yeah, it seems like a while ago.
Yeah, that was back in jukebox days. What have you been up to since I last saw you? Well, I've seen you since I last saw you in the studio.
Plenty. I guess playing lots of gigs with the Bullet de Bloom songs. Did a little bit in Melbourne, a bit here, and then sort of this started really developing, and I think it was sort of warranted have the guys that we're playing with here, because that original stuff was done with a lot of Melbourne members. It's connections I've had there and the recordings were done there, but then we met Chris, started working with Jason Martin and Paul Barton as well, and I think it started developing its own identity, so it was worth bringing, rather than just sort of calling it me, really giving them some sort of ownership of it and acknowledging, I think, what they've brought to the table, which has been fantastic.
Chris, you're in pretty hot demand though, aren't you? Well, you've come a long way in 2.5 years.
I have.
I mean, not musically, because you're always obviously a hot guitarist, but you've really...
But no, meeting Eddie was obviously fantastic, and the jam session out at Holloway's was really what started it for me up here, having moved into Holloway's Beach up there, and then Rolls as part of the Fun Factory and all that sort of stuff. invited me down to come and play some guitar, and haven't looked back since. You know, been meeting a lot of great musicians up here and having a great time, really.
You're actually performing with at least 2 bands that I know of. This one and
I'm working with Amy Chase and her band at the moment as well, and that's fantastic. You know, it's a real experience getting on stage with that band. Such fine players and just have a lot of fun as well. You know, so it's more sort of funk and dance orientated, which is kind of where I came from in Melbourne as well. I had a funk band down there, so yeah, so it fits in well with what I do.
It's great to have so much music going on in Cairns at the moment, isn't it?
Definitely.
Right, well, as we said, we're going to have a preview of a couple of tracks from the CD, and we're going to do something a little bit different because you're going to perform one of the tracks live now in the studio.
Sure thing, yeah. This song is called Peace Looks Pretty. Yeah, we've had a lot of fun doing it. It's got, I guess, a bit of a familiarity, and yeah, it was good fun recording it. Andre Bordeaux played sax on the actual recording as well, which was great. And yeah, here it is. It's short and sharp, and
Yeah, cool.
we'll do it.
Let's do it.
1, 2, 3, 4. Moving from the west side, hold off on the east. Get onto the right side, sail behind the breeze. Inject a dangerous disease. And I bet peace looks pretty from the top of the hill. I bet peace looks pretty. Don't rock the boat at high tide, calm the troubled seas. Leave the captain standing, flood the faceless thieves. Leave all the trouble to the thieves. And I bet peace looks pretty from the top of the hill. I bet peace looks pretty. And I bet peace looks pretty from the top of the hill. I bet peace looks pretty. Pushing from the west side, hold off on the east. Buffer up the homeland, rain down on the beast. Oh, let us feast, let us feast. And I bet peace looks pretty from the top of the hill. I bet peace looks pretty. And I bet peace looks pretty from the top of the hill. I bet peace looks pretty. There you go.
That sounds just great. I love it. I
Thanks.
absolutely love it. And I should say we've got Brett Charles in the studio today from Cam TV again, and he's filming. It's becoming a habit. I like this. So I've got to dress up a bit though. Has that song got the nod from you, Brett? Yes, it's got the nod from Brett. He can't say anything. But no, it's really good. Love it.
Cool.
That
Thank
will
you.
That'll go off, I'm sure.
We hope so.
Yeah.
Okay, time for the Top of the Trops Top 5 Countdown. Thanks to Top of the Trops and Lawrence Baker. If you have an original song and you'd like to be counted, just send an MP3 to Top of the Trops via the info on their website. Top of the Trops features original artists from Mackay North. Okay, number 5, it's Cracking Ice by hard rock and Cairns band Swarf. Number 4, Tomorrow by Alex Oram featuring Aaron Horscroft. Number 3 is Cairns band Koahlition with Angry Man. Number 2, Trapped in Limbo, Violet Shift out of Cairns and Innisfail. And number 1 on the top of the Trops is Jacob Long from Townsville with I Lost My Phone.
One thing and then say another. Change your story, don't even bother. You're on your own this time. No more lies. I lost my phone, darling. You know that I would have called. You lost your phone, darling. You know, I've heard it all before. Baby, you keep on walking out the door and you never call. How are we supposed to get closer? Maybe you'll be better on your own.
And that brings this episode of the Cam TV to a close. Please share it with all your Facebook friends and email contacts. And let's get Cairns area music out there to the world. Going to finish with a flashback, a clip I made 15 years ago for a young Cairns all-girl band called Chakra BC. This is Blind Eye. Good night, world.
Emotion is in its own war.